So, hello to this AMA for EAST protocol. Today we're going to talk about some problems that EAST faced in the past weeks, as well as go over some of the planned features and fixes that me and the team are going to do. So, first of all, you may be wondering where is Ivan Gramovich, who was now the product manager of EAST. And well, he has left the team. He is now doing his own project. Yeah, and so now I replaced him as the product manager of EAST.Finance. All right. So first of all, let's talk about the peg, I guess. In the past weeks, it wasn't too stable. It fluctuated between 19 cents and as high as $1.5. And yeah, this was caused by a little mismanagement from the team, I guess. First of all, there isn't yet a stable pair for EAST. Currently, we have two liquid pairs on WX network, which is EAST Waves and EAST West, right? Both about $40K worth, right? So first, what we're gonna do, like in the nearest week or two at max, is add liquidity with some other stablecoin, like USDT, for example. Maybe to do that, we'll unpair some of the liquidity from Waves and use Waves to buy some stable coins to make such liquidity. Yeah, I see some people already writing in chat. I can see you, and you can already start asking questions, and I'll get to them. Right. We have some other features planned that are also going to improve the peg. Those are the redemption pool, and that lets you exchange one EAST token one-to-one for assets from collateral worth $1. So that means that there is going to be a hard peg from the bottom if EAST token ever goes below $1, like for example 90 cents, then arbitrageurs, it's profitable for them to buy it from the market and exchange it, sell it to the protocol for assets that are going to be worth more, because the redemption pool in EAST.Finance will always honor EAST token as $1. So that's going to be pretty cool. Then there is going to be another feature. I saw it mentioned in the chat already today, which is minting EAST with stablecoins as collateral. So when EAST goes too high in price, for example, to $1.5, we're going to flip a switch that will let you put USDT and collateral and mint your EAST tokens for 100% collateral ratio. So that's kind of the lowest that it can be. And yeah, that will let also users and bots and arbitrageurs to make instant profit. They can mint EAST for USDT and sell it in the open market and make a profit, returning EAST to its peg of $1. Yeah, besides that, of course, we're going to implement some dynamic stability fee, which would change also according to the peg. If, for example, if EAST is going is unpegging but only a little bit, like if it went to $1.1, we would increase the stability fee, which would make debt owners more eager to repay their debt, because right now they're getting more debt faster. Right. I'll read some questions from YouTube now. Will there be some positive changes with how community is handled? Yes. Well, now that I am the product manager of EAST.Finance, I'm going to be much more active in chat. By the way, there is like the Waves Enterprise group, and there is also a new chat specifically for EAST.Finance. I shared it in chat. I'm going to do it once more, just in case. Yeah, you can join it to discuss EAST specifically. Yeah, but I'm gonna be active in both chats from now on. Yeah, we can talk about some things. Like you can ping me or even like DM me on Telegram as well. I'm always open. Yeah, West. Another question. West will exist as an asset with value. Yeah. So about West, like this AMA is about EAST.Finance primarily, but yeah, it also concerns West, I guess, and yeah, it's also gonna be handled, and new features will be implemented. And right now, we believe that East uh, EAST.Finance has is like the strongest utility case for Waves Enterprise and West mainnet, because especially it can be scaled and streamlined to corporate and enterprise users. So like, okay, that was kind of a teaser, but yeah, there are plans that will make EAST not just useful in DeFi, but also institutional DeFi, which is a bit different, but also quite cool. And yeah, you're gonna see some updates in the future about that. All right. Another question: when will the BEC be stable at $1? Currently, it's a bit volatile. So in the beginning, I talked about that. Maybe you can rewind after the stream is over. But yeah, we have some tokenomic changes in the following weeks, and a bunch of new features that are gonna improve the pack a lot more. And that's planned for like the following weeks. Yeah. Now another question about staking Eastern Orient. Yeah, that's another big theme for today's AMA. EAST staking is actually the next feature that we'll be releasing. It's gonna be next week or in 2 weeks at most, right? Because it's been quite ready and tested for quite a bit of time. But the reason why we decided to wait before releasing it is because, as some of you may know, we had a proposal vote with PowerDAO to exchange some supply percent of Orient for XTN. It was a $50K dollar worth deal, and it actually was voted on positively. It would pass, but there was a little mismanagement because what happened, I'll explain in detail. So we make a proposal on PowerDAO, right? And all of the votes and proposals on PowerDAO are handled directly on chain. So you have to write the transaction on chain as well, and like time it for some like specific time that it can be executed if it is passed successfully, right? But what happened is there is a 5-day period for voting, right? that was fine. But then the timestamp for the execution of the actual swap transaction was set or on 9 days after the vote is passed, right? So it could have been actually 9 days earlier. And what happened is another project, Pepe team, well, that's not supported, but anyway, made another proposal after us, and their proposal ended earlier, and the transaction was also set earlier, and it was also successful. And what happened is they pulled all of the XTN from the treasury of PowerDAO. There is not much left, and because our deal with EAST.Finance and PowerDAO was somewhere around 1.5 million XTN tokens, and there is right now about 50k XTN tokens left. That transaction failed. Yeah. So, long story short, that's why we waited before releasing Orient, because we wanted to make a deal with PowerDAO, and it kind of was successful, but failed. But in any case, we'll make another proposal in the future when PowerDAO's treasury is replenished, and we're gonna remake the proposal in the future, and hopefully it passes positively again. But now that the proposal is over, we're going to be releasing EAST staking and Orient staking very shortly, like in the following week or two at most. In the following week, we'll probably be ready to release EAST staking, and in 2 weeks, we'll be releasing Orient and Orient staking and Orient farming. As a reminder, Orient, you can mine Orient by minting EAST tokens. If you own some debt in the protocol, you'll be getting APR in the form of Orient, right? I'll read some more questions. Interesting question is any proofs that EAST will not follow USDN DPEG? Another, like the main reason why we're making EAST on Waves is because there isn't yet a native over-collateralized stablecoin. As you know, USDN was an algorithmic stablecoin, and that's why it depegged the same way that Luna and UST kind of crashed each other. While EAST.Finance and EAST token is more similar to MakerDAO, which makes the DAI stablecoin on Ethereum. We're more similar to Magic Internet Money, which is the Abracadabra protocol, and Liquidity, and all of those wonderful stablecoins that have been alive and stable for quite a big amount of time. And I don't know a single CDP stablecoin, like over-collateralized stablecoin, that has crashed yet, because it's kind of a foolproof mechanic. So that's why EAST.Finance, there is almost zero chance that it will follow USDN and depeg like 2 cents or zero. Like, no, maybe in the following weeks, before we implement all the features, it will like fluctuate between 90 cents and maybe $1.5, but not much more than that. And of course, we're working on making the peg to $1 as hard as possible. Any update about Waves DAO funding proposal? Well, yeah, I just talked about it. It's the PowerDAO funding proposal, and yeah, it kind of passed, but there wasn't any more XTN in the treasury, and our transaction just failed. So we're gonna remake it in the future when the treasury is replenished. I'll read some more. Yeah, when stable pairs like EAST, USDT, USDC, that's going to be happening like probably in the next week. Like if we'll try to find some like tokens to do it, and if we don't get it from someone, then we'll just unpair EAST waves liquidity, some of it, and use that waves to buy stable coins to make stable pair for EAST. That's happening like really soon. How are you going to expand the utilization of EAST in the Waves ecosystem? Right. So one feature that is planned and like will be doing 100% is, by the way, sorry that my camera is shaking. I'll try to not to do it. We'll be doing flash loans for EAST, so that arbitrageurs on Waves can mint as much EAST as they need to do some arbitrage. And if you don't know, flash loans are loans where you can take a loan of as much EAST as possible, with the one condition that you must return that EAST in the same transaction. So yeah, takes some time to wrap your head around that, but it's mostly used by bots and arbitrageurs, but it gives a bunch of utility to EAST because, of course, we'll take a small fee from all those flash loans, and also EAST is going to be, of course, used inside the EAST pools on DEXs in liquidity pools. So that's going to gather even more fees. Yeah. And of course, we're gonna be like collaborating with some other projects to make EAST more popular, more trusted, so that it can get more users and yeah, get more liquidity, which will also help the peg. Yeah, there will be another deal with PowerDAO. We'll make it in the future. Well, a question, isn't EAST always algorithmic? Well, if you get technical, every stablecoin that isn't like managed by real banks like USDT or USDC, they're all algorithmic, right? But the algorithm invented by MakerDAO and the DAI stablecoin got so popular, and now so many different projects use it, that it kind of differentiates as another whole new type of stablecoin. So yeah, technically it is algorithmic, but it's a specific type of algorithm that is very stable and tested with time. Will EAST boost Waves enterprise ecosystem? Yeah, as I already mentioned, EAST is currently like the strongest utility case for Waves enterprise mainnet, and wait some time to see some news about EAST expanding not only to DeFi but institutional DeFi as well. Right, so some enterprise and corporate users will also get into EAST.Finance. You promised another question, yes, important. You promised any user will be able to get info about vaults for liquidation. So yeah, if you currently visit EAST.Finance app, it's kind of like a card, like in the middle, and not very user-friendly, in my opinion, and probably in yours as well. So with the when we roll out the EAST staking update, which is happening really soon, we'll also revamp the whole interface, and you'll get a bunch of info, like a whole dashboard with info about your position, like how much of which collateral you have, how much you you need to how risky is your position, and so on. Yeah, that's going to be happening. So you'll get a better interface for all your stuff. Another question, explain why we need Orient token. Is it for governance? Will it bring extra APY? Yes and yes. So Orient token is a token which is a governance token for EAST.Finance. It's going to be used to govern EAST.Finance. And yeah, it's used to collect a percentage of all the fees. So all the fees, I'm sorry, that are collected by the protocol from liquidation fees, from stability fees, and so on. Currently, it all goes in the treasury. And the plan is to give out all those fees to protocol users. And these rewards will be split among EAST stakers and Orient stakers. Yeah, so both stakers will get APR. And yeah, you will get Orient as a reward for owning debt, for minting EAST tokens. Hopefully that will bring a bunch more users to the protocol and a bunch more liquidity. I'm not sure how much APR it will bring to EAST minters, but it's gonna be some of it, right? I can't predict how much APR it will be, but as soon as it comes out, you will see it and decide for yourself if you want to participate. Right, let me read some of my kind of planned bullet points. Yeah, I again remind you that we have a new chat specifically for EAST.Finance. You can find it in the Waves enterprise chat. So join and we can have some discussions about EAST. Do you plan a mobile version of EAST client? Currently, not that I know about, but that is certainly a good question, and I'll have some talks about that. How many Orient tokens will be released totally, and what time will it take? So actually, let me pull up the table for tokenomics of Orient. Well, I don't know if it's even important, because of course at first it will be quite volatile, but the whole like Orient mining program, where you get Orient for minting EAST, uh, is planned for 4 years, and the reward will gradually become slower. So at first, if you want to get the most profit, you should get in early, because at the start there are going to be like exponentially more rewards than after that. It's going to be a bit similar to how Bitcoin works. If you know, like Bitcoin halving and stuff like that, that each moment it's going to be like smaller and smaller, and stop after 4 years. Yep. A good question about Vest DAO and if it has anything to do with EAST. Let me tell you about that. Right, so West DAO will be scaling, and it's going to become an actual DAO, more democratized, and it will work very closely with EAST.Finance. Yeah, as I said, EAST.Finance is currently the most the strongest utility case for West enterprise, and yes, both projects are going to be handled, get more features, and will work very closely. And WestDAO is working very closely with EAST.Finance. A question about are you in the West East still in contact with Russian development team that was split apart? Yeah, so as some of you may know, like the company split, and I like don't have like too much internal info about like the details, but I can tell you about EAST.Finance is that EAST.Finance is currently outside of Russia, uh, and like the whole development team. So yeah, of course we hold some contacts with developers in Russia still, but not like officially, and so on. And all developers for EAST.Finance are currently outside. Another question, I feel like East is rather close. I don't get that. But do you have any dashboards, open statistics? Yeah, we like have a dashboard. I think it's a good idea to make it public in the future. I'll discuss that with the team. Uh, but yeah, we're watching the pack very closely. We have a bunch of info on liquidatable and risky positions of users. We have info on the volumes of ETH trading. Uh, well, obviously we have Oracle prices, uh, and like so, and so on. And according to that, we try to uh, act accordingly and implement new features, and sometimes try and arbitrage EAST ourselves so it can stay close to peg. And by the way, if by any chance you are a bot developer, uh, you can arbitrage EAST. It's kind of profitable, if I'm being honest, because it currently does fluctuate between 0.9 and $1.5, but yeah, if you buy it lower, you can always sell it higher, and that's kind of cool. Uh, but yeah, but that won't last much longer because we'll work on making the pack much better. A question: will they, the Russian developers, implement slash use EAST.Finance for their customers? Uh, I don't have info about that, and as I said, all developers of EAST.Finance are outside of Russia, but that's something I don't have much info about. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Trying to find some more questions, but it looks like I answered pretty much everything that there was. Let me take a look at my notes again. Yeah, I guess that's like pretty much it. If anyone has any more questions, please go ahead. And by the way, right after the AMA ends, like the stream ends, you can go ahead to EAST.Finance Telegram group, and I'll be answering questions if you have any more. You can DM me also. My nickname in Telegram is Piterkin. You can find me in chats. Yeah. And not just today, I'll be much more active in chats, uh, like from now on as well. So anytime. Yeah, thanks. And good luck to everyone. Yeah, I guess it's over. Bye.